My name is Patrick Harders. I am the CEO of Sterling Lighting. The way I got into landscape lighting was I went back to school to finish my degree. I needed a job at night, and I had a friend that ran a landscape lighting business. I really didn't know what landscape lighting was, but once I saw it, I really fell in love with it and chose that for my career. So even after graduating with a finance degree, I went right into landscape lighting from that point. When I started my landscape lighting business, I was poor. I had no money. I had a truck, a couple of yard signs and flyers. And so it was just myself. I would go out during the day. Nobody knew who I was. I moved to a new area in Northern Virginia, and I would really just go out and put out flyers in newspaper slots, 500 a day. I went 3 straight weeks of doing that without one phone call. And finally, I had my first phone call, and then my second was the strangest people in the world were the ones that originally called me. But I began my lighting business really just bootstrapping it the whole way. So it was, going out flyering because I didn't have money for real advertising, and just slowly building up customer base, and customer relations was so important, and then enhancing my lighting designs. But really just starting off, I was 25 years old and just trying to make things work and get it off the ground. So I started off, really it was the impact that lighting had. I loved the impact it had, but I really didn't know anything about design. We put a light under a tree and the tree was lit up, lights in between each window, we lit up a house, but there wasn't really a design aspect. And I thought I was pretty good. A number of things that helped me is I did nighttime demos. So 5 nights a week for about 13 years. So I had a lot of hands-on experience. But then I started reading books, going through training on lighting design, and really working with some great lighting designers and continuing to evolve my skill set and grow. So I saw exponential growth around 2011, and just throughout the years, I would work with different lighting professionals, visit people, and grow my skill set, and really just start to look at the beauty and artistic side of lighting. And that's what really fueled my passion for lighting design is, the impact we could make using light to light the object that we're trying to bring to life. Some of my inspirations, back in 2001, I bought Nate Mullen's book. He was inspirational, really intelligent man. Then Jan Moyer entered into the picture. I bought her books starting about 2003 and just devoured those. And so she's always been an inspiration, and I've had the opportunity to work with her a number of times. And it's really been an honor because she calls herself the goddess of lighting. And she pioneered so much of this. And there's others that came before, but she really took that mantle from the late 80s all the way through like 2015, 2016 of being the leader in our industry in lighting design. And then the one that I've really had so much fun working with is Alphatheria Deco. I had an opportunity when I won a lighting design to go and accept my award in Greece. And I met her, and she had done the Acropolis, and she actually gave us a tour of the Acropolis. And we walked and talked about lighting. So I become close friends with her, working on projects and all that, but she's really an inspiration to me because she could go from one lighting genre of theatrical lighting to commercial lighting to landscape lighting. So she's able to go into so many different art forms of lighting. I grew in my lighting design. I think one of the biggest steps I had was around 2011. I was talking about a design with a customer actually pretty close to here. We walked through the property, looked at the backyard, the front yard, I discussed everything, and in my mind I could just picture exactly how I was going to look. And so he said, sounds great, wrote up the proposal. He asked me to come and walk through it again. So I walked through the whole thing again, and I'm describing how each tree is going to look, the downlighting, the uplighting. And he was really creating a wedding venue for his daughter. They're doing a wedding in the back of their property. We go inside, he writes me a check for full payment, no deposit, just hands me the check. And he said, do you know why I picked you? I said, no. He goes, because I could tell you're passionate about the design. And right there, I clicked 13 years in lighting, and it went, oh, it's all about design. And so that was one of the big things that elevated me into really conveying the images I saw in my head to the customer, like what I thought the property was going to look like with lighting, to telling them and describing that. And so that began my journey into developing that skill, picturing in my mind, and then being able to tell my customers how that was going to look. And after that, I was on the board of directors for ILI, the International Landscape Lighting Institute. I was forced to take the class, and at the time I thought I knew everything. I'm 17 years in lighting, learned a lot working with other lighting designers where it's 5 nights of just deep training, and continue to go to that twice a year, some of the events we do as well. So my whole skill set really is just growing with other people. I've worked with some great lighting designers, spent a lot of time at night by myself with lights, And I'd say, the final thing is my own property. I spend a lot of time sitting on my front porch, and I'm always playing with lights, tweaking them, moving them, trying different techniques, different heights of light level and distance for downlighting. So those are really what's helped me on my design and really gaining that skill set of, picturing in my mind what it's going to look like, and then how do I bring that image to real life. One of my favorite things is when my customers trust me with artistic freedom. I had a customer not that long ago, probably about 5 years ago, where I'm going back and forth with the husband on where to put lights, and it really came down to budget for him. Finally, his wife, who's an artist, came out and she said, we just leave Patrick alone and let him do his thing and just write a check at the end. And we were able to create just this beautiful area where it's looked wonderful. It was everything he ever dreamt it would be. It was so much fun. Like, that's really what I like about lighting. At this point, 25 years into it, coming out and putting a couple path lights on and lighting up some trees isn't too exciting. But when I have that creative, artistic license to think outside the box and try something new, that's where I find passion. And so that's what I look for in projects. And every once in a while I'll have customers, I say, I really want to do this project for my own self more than anything else. I want to see if I could create the image that I believe we can create with lighting and create that feeling with lighting. So that's where I have the most fun. I've heard and talked to people I've worked with that they start seeing the same passion I have, where they start becoming designers. So there's always a balance as we're trying to build our companies up. There's the production side of things. I can't spend 3 days staring up at a tree and just dreaming about how it's going to look, because I have to make money and have guys working and everything. And then the other side of it is the artistic and beautiful side. So it's always a balance of time and energy. I always say, like, I could do anything you want in lighting, it's just time and money, and both of those are limited. But when I work with people and when I've watched some of the people that I've seen grow, it's one of the most exciting things. It's one thing that I feed a lot on, is just seeing somebody where they start to develop their skill set, their artistic skill set in lighting, and then they see their business grow because they go from just cookie cutter production to creating something beautiful, and people are willing to pay more for the artistic beauty. It really enhances their business, and it gives them kind of a renewed passion versus just get in and out and throw jobs in. And that's one of the fun things that we've gotten to work with and I've seen in our roles. Sterling started really simple. I had one product that we were using that was using retrofit lamps. They didn't look right, they didn't last. They just didn't have heat sinking in them. We had integrated lights that when they failed, which mine did, the company I actually had purchased 750 of integrated fixtures from one company and had 500 fail. When they failed, you had to throw them away. There was no way to service them. And I said, somebody's got to come up with a better way. Really, for me to grow my business, because we were focused on if I could put in a light and I could design it and I could really not have to worry about that light for 10 or 15 years, like, my business would revolutionize. And so I said, let's come up with a solution so I could grow my business and a couple friends' businesses. And that's really what we started Sterling Lighting from, is let's make a serviceable integrated light that performs great, that I could put in the ground, and then I could focus on what I like doing. I like designing, I like installing, and when service comes up, I could take care of it. And so that allowed me to really grow my business, and we were able to grow the business quite a bit. That's what Sterling Lighting was fun on, just that simple principle. When we started Sterling Lighting, the first product that we needed was an uplight. Bullet light, uplight goes by different names, but I needed something that was really reliable, and that really didn't exist in that time frame. After we made something that was not only reliable, that was easy to service, then I got my wish list, like, what else would you like with this? And so I'm working with a group of engineers, and I said, I would like to be able to adjust the brightness, and I'd like to adjust the beam spread. And if I could do that, then rather than carrying 27 different lamps in my trucks and all my service vehicles, I could have one component that can do all these different things. That was our first product. And then the second one was a path light, third one was a wash light, a down light. And so we slowly started to build out a product line that gave us the versatility we needed. But those early days, it was really focused on making a revolutionary product, something that really didn't exist in the market for another 10 years, the serviceable, integrated, adjustable lumen, all that. But it's just such a simple concept. Somebody else should have done it, but they didn't. So here we have Sterling Lighting. The characteristics for Sterling products. Number one, I don't want to spend a lot of time, if I'm designing a system, talking about the quality of our lights. I want to hand somebody a product, be able to turn away and let the product speak for itself. So we wanted heavy duty, We wanted really good quality brass, something that's going to last a long time. Then after that was the performance of it. So the better we can make the light output, right at the very beginning. I'm a lighting designer. If I'm not focused on light, like, I'm not good at anything. So I wanted great quality of light. And we started off in the 85 CRI, then 92, and now we're 97, 99. We've always focused on light quality. And so those are, I think, two of the biggest things. And the third thing is just ease of serviceability. You know, running a fairly large landscape lighting company in Maryland and DC, Northern Virginia, I knew the importance of service. And if my guys have to take forever to go do a service call, it's going to take away from my business. So I wanted a very simple way that they could go out there if, say, 5 or 10 years down the road, a lamp fails, they could pull out the cup, put a new one in, and go on with their day. So we could take care of things quickly and focus on, you know, what really allows us to be profitable in our business. When I talk about profitability in a landscape lighting business, I know how hard it is. I spent years where I had no money starting my business, and then I'm just struggling to get by. And then I got married, had kids, and the struggle got really real where it's like, I need to figure out how to make this business that's profitable. We were stuck at, you know, one business level and, you know, barely paying myself enough to get by. I need to afford education for my kids. I've got all these stresses that are just normal in life. So I looked at how can we make this business profitable? It's one of my passions is like, I know people could make good money in landscape lighting. And, you know, we wanted to come alongside. So, you know, one of the things at the very beginning of Sterling Lighting, we got approached by every distributor you could imagine, even some of the big national ones. We would have grown our business a lot faster, but the problem that I had was they wanted good percentage, 25 to 45% markup. And so I looked at what my customers, the landscape lighting people, were going to have to pay, and it really made no sense to me. Like, there goes your profit level. So if we could deliver a premium quality product and be loyal to lighting designers and allow them to make some more money, because you're crazy to go into this business. You know, I was crazy to go in this business because it's a challenge. But if we could make it so the design and artistic side could really be expressed and people could make money doing it, that's really one of our focuses. So we do a lot of training programs and offer assistance, and, you know, really we celebrate growth with people. We love to see their businesses grow because, you know, I've been there. I know how hard it is when you're trying to pay the guys and pay bills and do everything else, and like, how do we make this so we can be profitable at it and we're not just giving all the money away to things that aren't needed? The feedback that I get from people that actually become advocates for Sterling Lighting is they see growth in their business. They see a reliability factor that really they haven't had in other products. And then they just see a commitment from a company. So I think we've developed a team that really cares for the customers. And so they say, hey, I can give so-and-so a call at 6 o'clock. They're going to answer their phone, help me out. I could call the owner. I could talk to, you know, anybody in the company, and they're invested in my growth. And so when you have that combination of people that actually care to see you grow, they are really striving to develop a product that allows you to be successful and to make money. It's one of the great things to see, but I think just as important is we watch their businesses grow. They start following some of the things, you know, that I had to learn the hard way, and they start developing some of these business models of developing the artistic side and getting the production up and being able to charge enough to make money on their jobs, and they start to see growth in their business. It's really exciting for us. When I talk to other lighting designers out there, being a fellow lighting designer, it is a different conversation. I think we've all had times where you look at a product and you say, like, the engineer should be shot who designed this. You know, mechanics say it all the time where they're trying to change the oil, and they said, whoever designed this never had the intention of changing the oil. And same thing with light fixtures. So often you say, why is this designed this way? And it just drives you crazy. I am up here with a lot of people in the industry, and I get a chance to really be around them, spend time with them. I've gone through the same struggles they have. I still have struggles in trying to run a landscape lighting design business, and I like to share our victories, and I like to talk about like challenges they're having. So I think it is a different dynamic, much different than, you know, a lot of the manufacturers. You know, a lot of them are just overseas and never were involved in landscape lighting. A number of them really have no experience in ever trying to sell a job, convince a customer to actually part with the check to pay for a project, all these things. Hiring employees, like, these are things that they haven't done at the level of what a landscape lighting company or a landscaper deals with every day. And so I think there is a difference in, you know, there's a greater connection that we have, you know, because I come from this world. I'm still in this world. This is what I do. I still run my lighting company because I don't want to lose that connection. So the peers that I work with, usually the ones that are most successful, they do consider themselves artists. So they have that artistic eye, they want to develop that skill. And most of them are thinking about building a big business. So I always love talking to the dreamers, the ones that say, I'm here, but I see my company getting to this level and that level and the next level. Those are usually the people that really are just drawn into the Sterling family. The third thing is, they want to know when they have struggles or something happens, like somebody's there for them. And just somebody that they could call to say, hey, I had this happen, what would you do? And we have a team, like I try and help out wherever I can. Even my my design team, a number of them are willing to lend a hand, and they get on the phone and FaceTime. So that's usually the feedback that we're getting is we do feel like a family. Those people that kind of come into our inner circle and work with us, and they come on our trips or come on our educational training programs, they're really that person that's looking to elevate their business and their skill set. At Sterling, we've really worked hard to develop a company culture and develop people that have the passion we have. We have a lot of big dreams. I talk with Damien and I talk all the time, and we are always focused on like, what's the next challenge? What's the next, growth that we can do? Where can we improve? What can we do better? We took on the philosophy of constant daily improvement. So we've never arrived anywhere. We're always just trying to see like what we can get better. And the people around us have come in, and we've hosted some events. Our summits have been one where you just see everybody working like dogs, like going all in, making sure that our customers are taken care of. And it's really that just service attitude that we've worked on developing. Is like, hey, we're here to serve each other. As the owner, I don't walk in and think I own this and I'm just a normal guy. I'm blessed, I think, to have this opportunity, and whatever we can make of it, great. And I think everybody there is just really appreciative of, where this can go and the excitement and, the impact that we can have on other people. In Sterling, where I see our growth happening is really continuing to develop better and better quality products. I think it was about 4 years ago, I was asked at a AOLP event, where do I see the future of landscape lighting? What's going to be the big changes? And I said, it's going to be in coating, it's going to be in electronics, it's going to be in LED performance, it's going to be in controls. And that's where you're starting to see other manufacturers shift and pay attention to. I get asked questions like, when do you think other companies are going to start caring about CRI or light quality? And I think one of the goals is like, let's elevate this entire industry. It's very easy for like large companies to come in, they develop a product line, and then they sit on it for 10 years because they're really, really more of a profit motive driven, where we want to build something special. I want to look back in 20 years to say like, we made the very best, best lighting designs, the best products. We did something special with the time we had here. So, I look at the next 5 years of being tremendous growth and really elevating the other lighting businesses out there, the other landscape lighting designers, and watching them grow, which helps us grow. So, trying to form that symbiotic relationship where everybody benefits, everybody gets to grow. We have a lot of fun doing it. So that's where I see the growth. The impact, I think, will be not only in just the design, the quality of products, the end customer gets to enjoy a product that's going to last a lifetime, but I think the impact on small businesses. And, I'm passionate about small business in America. I think that's, really the heart and blood of this country is the small businesses hire people, they develop people, they really make such a big impact. And so if we could play a role in impacting people in the green industry, grow their business to be successful, I think it just helps out all the communities and has a wide impact. And there's a lot of other things that we want to focus on Sterling, but those would be some of the main points. For somebody that is just placing their first sample order, what can they expect from our company? We're going to be there each step along the way. So we really want to go through our process to help onboard somebody, to get used to our product line, to feel it, to see the quality, and to really understand where we designed, how we designed everything and how we brought everything together so that we could develop your business and help you grow. That's why we've come out with a lot of products, such as our design assistance software using My Designers. We also have other programs that really allow you to grow your business and just opportunities to talk to myself and Damien and other people in the business. We want to be just very open and very available to our customers. So it is much different. Very few times when I was buying products did I ever talk to the owner of the manufacturing company. In fact, most of the times I never did. And we wanted to be a lot different. We wanted to be available to our people, to have that one-on-one connection, to have those phone calls, to build those relationships, because I think that's the times that we really can see, where we can have an impact and see growth in their business. When you start with Sterling Lighting, the first thing you're going to notice is the quality. So you'll be able to hold the product and you'll feel the quality of the product. The second thing that I make everybody do is actually turn on the lights and see the light. And I think you're going to be shocked when you compare it with what you're currently using with ours. It is a better light output. Better controlled, it's a better source of light, so it looks better, it looks crisper, it looks more natural, it looks more beautiful. Then the third thing is really something you see over time is reliability. I couldn't have built my business to the level I did if I didn't have a product that I could just trust 100% of the time, put it in the ground and know it's going to work. So those, I think, the three things that you'll really see the biggest difference just on the product side. The other side is just customer service. We're here for you. My team is willing to help with anything we can. We get orders out right away. If there's ever issues and not everything's going to run perfect, we want to make certain that we take care of our customers, whatever the cost is. I think the final thing that most people comment are surprised is how giving we are on our return policies. If there's an issue, we own up to it. If something doesn't work out, we're not questioning, we're not looking at fine print. I go back to the old world of handshake agreements. And my agreement is to build a great product. If there's a problem with it, I own it, I take care of it. We make things right with you. Those are all things that I think in the long term, we're looking to build relationships with people, we're looking to build friendships with people and build their businesses and really have a lot of fun in doing it. If you're a landscape lighting professional, a landscape lighting designer, you need to try Sterling Lighting. We will not let you down. We will take care of you. I go back to an old story, 2013, when we first started off. Tim, one of my great customers down in Florida, said, "What happens if you go out of business?" This is my first year in business. I said, if I go out of business, I'm gonna buy a few hundred lights. I'll drive them down to you myself. I'll give them to you, and I'll make sure you're taken care of. Anyway, good enough for me. He's been a loyal customer now for 14 years or so. What you can expect is durable products, reliable products that perform well, and we will be here no matter what to make sure you're taken care of. So give Sterling Lighting a try. We will deliver on a quality product that's built correctly, that performs well, that is reliable. We will not let you down.